Howdy folks, my name is ReadyOpco, and welcome back to part number 9 of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. In the very last part, we were doing a little bit of sequence breaking, a little bit of heart piece hunting, and in this part, we're going to be continuing much along the same lines, and using the newfound power of the Titan's Mitt that we have to do a whole bunch of stuff. First of which is going to be talking to this weird bouncing frog dude. What is up with you?
Ribbit, your body did not change. You are not just an ordinary guy, are you? I used to live in Kakariko Town. I wonder what my partner is doing there without me. Ribbit, I have a request to you. Please take me to my partner. Please, Ribbit, please.
I don't understand why I went with a southern frog for that one, but this little frog dude seems like he needs a little bit of help getting back to his partner, and I have a feeling he has I have a feeling that I know exactly where that's going to be. See, we've got our helpful follower dude here. Using the power of the magic mirror, I think I can pop it right here. Is this a safe area? It is not. And if you teleport in with the magic mirror into an unsafe area, just like so, it will kick you back out into the dark world, which is a really funny thing. It's just like, nah, you just can't spawn here. And looks like the little dude has turned into a dwarf friend, and if you had previously entered this house, you would have seen other dwarf friend.
Oh, happy days are here again. You found my partner. We are very happy now. Drop by here again. At that time, we will temper your sword perfectly.
Well, can you do that now? I would like that now. Do that now. No, do that now. Do that now. No, seriously, come on. I would really appreciate if you would just upgrade the sword. Do I have to actually leave the screen? No. Hey, you! Welcome.
Ask us to do anything.
I would appreciate if you would temper the sword. 10 rupees. Yeah, that sounds like a decent deal to me. Yes, temper the Master Sword. Absolutely take the Blade of Evil's Bane and just desecrate it. Why not?
We're not done yet. Come back after a while.
So, as you can see, we no longer have a sword for the time being. We just do this weak weenie swing, which is really funny. It's fun that you can swing with no sword equipped. I appreciate that little feature exists. And then I believe this one you do actually have to reset the screen for it to trigger. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I believe we can just walk on in and collect our tempered sword. These guys are master blacksmiths after all.
Your sword is tempered up. Now hold it.
Yeah, we got a nice red sheen. Your sword is now stronger. You can feel the sheer power flowing through your body. Ooh, I'm so excited for this. So, if you check the start screen, this indeed levels up the sword to level 3. So, this is a more powerful Master Sword. It makes a heavy sound as it's cutting the air. Like, listen to this. Just sounds like you're literally cleaving the air with your blade, which is some real anime business that is right up my alley. I love that sort of thing. And yeah, the tempered sword is indeed going to be significantly more powerful than the Master Sword, going to be able to take care of these Dark World enemies much, much faster, and the faster that we kill them, the less time they have to kill us. So, what we're going to be doing with this tempered sword is actually diving right back on into that 4th temple. Like I was saying, we were basically right at the end of it. Didn't have too much more that we actually needed to do before we would be able to get it. We had rescued the girl, now we just need to take her to the requisite place. And you will be seeing what I mean exactly by that, so I'll go ahead and just walk through here the normal way. This dungeon is very confusing, so it would probably be helpful for people to be able to see the way that I had taken through here. So it's just right through the top right of the first room. Immediately hook another right. And then that big key door was up here, if I'm not mistaken. Just gotta figure out how to actually get up there. This maze area of the dungeon is not my favorite. I got lost in here so many times as a kid. But thankfully we don't have to deal with any of that business. I'm just gonna double check. Yep, it seems that the light from that window that we had bombed before, the little hole in the ground there, has indeed stayed despite us exiting the dungeon. And hey, check that out. We can kill skeletons in a single shot. I believe we can kill most enemies in a single shot at this point. Bop, bop. I love the tempered sword so much, and it is such a worthwhile upgrade to go out of your way and do this sequence breaking for, trust me. It will make every single thing, everything that would have been a challenge much easier. Bop! Just kill things in one shot, why not? Kill everything.
Bop.
It's seriously so fun to just take the tempered sword and just absolutely destroy things. And it makes sense that the position of the colored switches in the dungeon would reset every time you exit and re-enter. There are probably puzzles later that are critical for them being in a certain position when you enter the room for the first time. I wouldn't be surprised, that's definitely something that they would do, right? But I don't believe that we need to go upstairs here anymore, since the sunlight is indeed still shining down for us. Can just move on, see if I can get another heal from this anti-fairy. Such a useful technique. I will never get over just how helpful that is. And as you can see, getting the tempered sword upgrade will also upgrade the power of the beams that your sword shoots, so it is not just a swinging upgrade. It is helpful in multiple aspects. So let's go downstairs once again. Just gotta rescue the fair maiden and bring her back up. This dungeon really is a turbo-easy place once you know all the tricks, once you know where all the trap rooms are as well. I think there's really only the one trap room that is legitimately purposeless. You just go into it and then you have to kill enemies to get out of it, and that's all it is in that top left area that I was mentioning in the previous part, but avoiding that entirely, we can just, get on through here. It really is that primary area that you start in, the very first area of the dungeon that's all maze-like, that is the most confusing, but as I'm displaying here, once you know your way through it, you can just immediately blitz through the dungeon. It is not difficult whatsoever, and we're gonna go ahead and see what happens when we bring this maiden into the light. I seem to remember a particular NPC telling us before that a certain bandit king hated the light. Very interesting. And the boss music starts.
Yo, too bright.
Oh, what are you turning into? The terrible boss, Blind! This is the boss of the 4th dungeon in the Dark World, which means that it is going to be doing a lot of damage to me if I get hit by it, which is gonna suck. Yeah, those lasers do 2 whole hearts of damage, and I'm sure running into the boss is going to be no kinder. Fireballs, thankfully, can be blocked by our shield, but those laser beams are nasty, nasty business. Just gotta try and sword swing on the head, and I believe it is only 2 swings with the tempered sword per head. So the first head comes flying off, and then immediately she's on you. This is really tricky. This is one of the more difficult bosses in the game, legitimately. I'm doing a pretty good job of dodging stuff here, but getting in there for a hit is the tricky part. And I believe, it must be 3 hits per head, not 2. Oh, my palms are sweating. Thankfully, I have another fairy after this, and I can use the iframes here, get in that 3rd hit, and then I believe we only need to do 3 more hits on the boss, and we will be out of here, which would be much more with the Master Sword. Okay. The frames slowing down helped me out a little bit, I think. Nope. It is so hard to hit it when it's at the very top of the screen. It's extremely difficult. Like, I don't understand exactly. I'm not even sure if you're able to. But there we go. Do the final hit with the iframes. Using the iframes from the Fairy Revive is one of the most broken techniques, and unfortunately I forgot to equip the boomerang. But that's okay. You can go ahead and sprinkle magic powder on the thing. Yeah, this is better. I'm genuinely taking a deep breath after that. That is one of the harder bosses in the game, for sure. For sure. It is pretty bullet hell there for a second. And I'm sure actual bullet hell players are laughing. They're, this is but child's play.
Dawson, because of you, I can escape from the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you. As the wise men sealed the way to the Dark World, the Knights of Hyrule defended them from the attacks of evil monsters. I heard that the Knights of Hyrule were nearly wiped out in that battle. You are perhaps the last one to carry on the bloodline of the Knights. It is ironic that the last one in the line has the potential to become the hero of legend. Surely you can destroy Ganon. Do you understand?
What is there to comprehend? Like, that was just hell.
May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
hope some people get a kick out of me throwing the voices back and forth, because that is not easy on my throat, I gotta tell you. And hey, that is another Dark World dungeon down. I cannot believe the absolute amount of progress that I have been able to make in this series. Honestly, it might be better than Super Mario 64, and with this sequence breaking trick, there are actually many, many things that we can go for right at this moment, which is some super exciting stuff. First thing that we're going to go for is, as soon as we have brought our dwarf buddy back to his friend, we can go into the Dark World version of their house, and there will be this funny treasure chest. Because the key is locked inside this chest, you can never open it. Just take it with you. And it becomes a follower, just like that froggy guy was before. It's really, really funny. I don't know, there's something humorous about a treasure chest following you in the same way that any other NPC would, but as we had learned before in the game, you can indeed go to the light world with a follower behind you. So we might indeed go... wow, that was some mashing of phrases. Let me... Huh. Apparently, if you do the Pegasus dash, the chest yeets itself behind you and does not wish to come. It can't quite go at those speeds. It is not feeling the initial the deja vu. I have been in this place before. It is not about it whatsoever. No Eurobeat for this purple treasure chest. Okay, I kind of have to make that the episode title, don't I? No Eurobeat for this purple treasure chest. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one, I gotta say. You know, sometimes you gotta give yourself credit when you come up with a funny one like that, and I think that's a pretty good one right there. So, using the magic mirror, I heard that you know I used to be a thief, right? Well, I'll open a chest for you. Will you keep it secret? Will you please promise? Yeah, I'll promise not to tell. And for our efforts, we are rewarded with a magic bottle. That's going to be the third of 4 that we can carry, which is going to be some very useful stuff. And I'm immediately going to use the flute. Duck, save me. Oh, Duck, you didn't save me. Instead, you just let me to die. Why did you not save me, Duck? You could have saved me. You chose for this to happen. I had no part in this, and yet, here you are, being a duck. Okay, so where we're going to want to go is going to be number 6 over here. If I'm remembering correctly, one of these 2 stones is going to have a mysterious power. And don't worry, if any of you know this game, I'm not going to be sequence breaking quite this hard. If you check on the map, this is indeed the area where temple number 6 is going to be in the Dark World, but I have absolutely no interest in going in there at this very moment. As a matter of fact, I don't think that I have the tool to do so, and beyond that, I don't have the tools necessary to actually beat the dungeon either. All I'm coming over here for is really just right over here in the top right corner of the Dark World version of this area. If we hit the magic mirror right over here, I figured I was going to teleport right on top of the stone. I seem to do that every single time. Okay, do it at the very wall, the very top wall here. That seems to be the best area to do it. And that'll let you get into the light world. There will be a stone here, and I bet you can't imagine what is going to be in this hidden area. It is indeed another heart piece. This one actually has a light puzzle to solve in order to get over to it, though. Let me see here. Yeah, not you. You and you? Yeah, that works. That's gonna be 2 out of 4. See if we can't get another 2 heart pieces in this episode. Why don't we challenge ourselves? Not that that's much of a challenge. I think that I know exactly where 2 of them are going to be. I'm not 100% sure. Do I want to be in the Dark World for this? I don't think that it is necessary. No, actually, I think that I messed up. So what I'm going to do is I think that I actually have to take the long way, or I guess I can take the easy way, actually, back into the Dark World version of Kakariko Village, the Thieves Town. I forget exactly what it is. But I will meet you back there, so to save you the trouble of all the traveling between worlds and the duck and all that. It is so nice to be able to get here by lifting the Black Rock in the Light World version of this. I gotta tell you, it is so much easier than going through the Lost Woods and getting, lost in them, as I seem to do almost every time I go through the area. But moving onwards, we've got one more location. No, we've got two more locations to hit up. One of them has 2 items, was what I was thinking. It's going to be the Dark World version of the Graveyard over here. We've got a whole bunch of stones and stuff that we can mash our way through. And this area right over here, so this is actually kind of tricky. If I'm remembering correctly, you can mirror right in the corner here. Oh, no. Looks like I was standing on top of a bush. You can mirror in one of these 2 spots right here. Is going to let us get into this little enclosure here, and as you can see, the only way that you would get in here otherwise, without using the magic mirror as so, is by using the Titan's Mitt that we had retrieved from Dungeon 4, but you can get here as soon as you've completed Dungeon 1 without actually having to go in there and do the sequence breaking and whatnot. Either way, you are going to want to come in here and get the item that we have. This is the Magic Cape. You are invisible when you wear it. Watch your magic meter. So it's really useful that we got that half magic upgrade from before, because the magic cape saps a lot of magic when you use it. As you can see, it's still pretty drain heavy even with the upgrade, but it does indeed make you invincible from any and all threats in the game. We're going to be using that to collect just a few things. And, who knows, we might even find use for it elsewhere, although I kind of doubt it, using it during a boss fight or something. I don't think that you can still swing your sword while you're in the magic cape, so it doesn't make it entirely useful, but in this area, wow, they really are just gonna throw bombs at you. It's almost as if they're telling you to bomb the wall. That's so funny to me. Just like, well, we have a wall, it needs to be bombed. Here are some bombs. Just take them. Just take the bombs. Take the extremely deadly explosives. Just take them. We don't want them. We want you to have them. They're yours. Sorry, I was getting the energy of the it's free real estate skit there for a minute. It's free real estate. Okay, so sorry. We've got one more location that we're going to want to visit. If I'm remembering correctly, let's hit up number 8 over here. This might not exactly be the best location for where I'm trying to get to, but we'll make it work. We have one more heart piece that we want to collect that is very, very easy to grab, that is also technically available to you as soon as you clear the very first Dark World dungeon. As a matter of fact, so this is a funny story. The guide that I've been using, and I don't have any shame in admitting that I'm using a guide for the heart pieces, because I'm not expecting myself to remember where all of them are after so many years. That's kind of ridiculous. The guide that I'm using was, it must have been like transcripted from an old GameFAQs guide, because it was like a notepad document that was sitting on my computer from a very long time ago. Like an extremely, extremely long time ago. Oh, there's no way that I've had this computer since 2011, right? No, I don't think that can possibly be correct, but either way, and it still had my original markings from the original Let's Play, for sure, though. That was kind of funny. So, I don't think I've had this computer for nearly that long. That must have been from, I had just ported I've had this external hard drive that it's on for much longer than the computer itself. That makes sense. So, yeah, it's just funny that I was using an old, outdated guide, honestly. It kind of has a goofy order for the things it wants you to collect the heart pieces in, and it is a little mistaken on the necessary items that you need to collect them. For example, getting into this Dark World version of Lake Hylia right here is actually pretty easy. You can either use the hammer up there, as I had mentioned. Oh, no, what I was thinking is that you can actually grab this heart piece in particular before you do the first Dark World dungeon. It's actually even cooler than I was mentioning beforehand. So that is going to be our 4th piece of heart. Wow, that is already 14 out of 20 heart containers. I am actually flying through this a little bit faster than I thought I would. That was really, really exciting stuff. This heart piece you can actually get before you even get the hammer, because if you have the flippers, you need to have the flippers to get this heart piece in the first place. What you can do is there is a whirlpool down here a ways. Is it right? Nope, that is Azora. Where exactly is it? It's somewhere in this area. There's a whirlpool that will transport you to a different area of the map, and by doing so, you can actually get here very early. And I believe these guys, these are actually the OG likes, those enemies that enemy that was like spitting its tongue at me. That will actually steal your shield if you let it, so I do not recommend getting close to those guys. They are very dangerous. Okay, apparently I can't find the whirlpool that I'm talking about, but there is a whirlpool that leads down here and that you can use to get over here earlier than with the hammer. But all of that said, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the magic mirror here, because it is a lot safer to traverse the light world version of Hyrule than it is the dark world. Enemies are a lot safer. You can see how much damage I was taking just from being a jerk around those bomb guys. They are seriously dangerous. As a matter of fact, very last thing I'm going to do in this episode is of mass importance, and that is going to be refilling the fairy bottles. Refilling these magic bottles. It needs to be done absolutely post-haste. Come here, fairies. I need you for revives, because I plan on dying a lot. And if I don't die a lot, I will be genuinely surprised. Seriously, I can't imagine a world in which I'm not going to be eating a whole bunch of crap to some of these later enemies. Game gets hard, guys. Game gets genuinely hard. And, you know, that's something that I really like about this particular Zelda game, is that fact that it actually maintains a really decent level of difficulty the whole way through. Nothing feels too terribly easy. Whereas if you go back and play Twilight Princess again after so many years, it's like, wow, this game is it's almost like this game is for children. Because dang, it does not ask it really doesn't ask much of you. It definitely asks a lot in the puzzle solving department, as far as like, that thing I will continue to mention, which is keeping track of things across rooms, but you know, that's actually a really difficult thing for a lot of people to do. Keeping track of things across rooms, like I can remember stumbling around the very final dungeon in Twilight Princess. Well, actually, it's not even close to the final dungeon. The Sky Temple, or City in the Sky. City in the Sky. There you go. Yeah, it was a rough time. But all of that said, as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ending this part in a convenient place. I'm going to be ending it right in front of Dark World Dungeon number 2. So, in part number 10, we're going to be taking on the very next Dark World Dungeon. I hope you guys are excited for the things that may be in store. So, my name is Reddy Opko. Hope you guys have enjoyed part number 9 of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, and I hope you'll be staying tuned for part number 10.